What have you used to defend yourself?
Why, our glorious beaks, of course. The humans have, of course, not moved the piece of wood, so these feathered ones have trapped us. I have bitten, I have scratched with my lovely feet and claws, but alas, here we are, on two sides of the wood. The tall, skinny ones appear to have vacated.
I think, well, I don't necessarily respond to the other side just yet. I think I have taken this rather sharp rock. I don't know why I feel I need to have it, but it's comforting. Um, it was found by our favorite pond, and something about the shape just grabs my attention. It feels safe to have, and I just have it nestled amongst a couple of other things that I have with me.
Is that the same pond that we raised the goslings on?
Yeah. In that one summer, when um, Artie went out too far and almost drowned, and we had to go out there and get him because he just lost his way.
Oh, yes, that big hullabaloo. We had to call the tall, skinny, featherless ones to come and fetch him from the water. I remember your throat was sore for days after, but your music was beautiful, as it always is. I wish I could see you sing now.
Maybe we can sing a little bit later. Um,
I should like that very much. Will you promise me one thing? Will you survive when I'm gone? Go on, have other fledglings?
um, I think I could do that. I mean, fall's coming. It would be time to maybe fly south soon. Maybe better climate would be nice to see. And I
You
could come
always want
back
to go
and,
south?
yeah, I could, I don't know, go somewhere new south this time, not the usual way that we've been shown to go. Um, Maybe that might be nice. I could tell you about the new things I see.
I would like that very much. You must tell me if you meet another V formation, won't you? Of the, different from the usual ones. Without those dreaded masked fellows from Canada, dreadfully rude. You could find some great geese, or bracken geese, or barnacle geese. You could meet so many people if you were to go south. You know, I've never been good with flying. My feathers always, they always tend to drag. They seem to drag more nowadays, but surely it will pass.
Maybe, but I mean, you were always the better, I guess, talker. Was never really one to make friends, or I don't know, you just make friends so much easier. You just know how to say the right things, flap your feathers the right way, and everybody seems to. Well, what if people won't like me when I'm on my own?
Oh, my darling, I wish this wood was not there so I could be into the out with you now. You are the most glantorious, beauteous goose I've ever laid eyes upon. Your plumage, your plump breast, the way you hiss and screech when anyone comes near the pond for feeding times. I may be a beautiful creature myself, but I pale in your beauty with your barred feathers, your bright and blinking beady eye. I am just a humble white goose, but you contain multitudes. You always have, and that is why you will do exceptionally out there. It will only take me some time to recover once I figure out how to move the wood. Perhaps the skinny ones will be back, and then they will move the wood for us.
Wouldn't wouldn't that be nice? I I always admired how much you saw more than what I even think of myself. It's why, anyways, what's a dream you've never shared with me before?
Dream. Well, you did make many changes for me when we decided to stay on this farm. I understand that was quite the change for you. You've always been a wild thing, a free thing. I myself being domestic with my feathers all a drape, a frizzle, I believe the tall, skinny, featherless ones called me. But as much as I enjoyed the corn and the grains and the occasional company from the tall, skinny ones and the others, I wonder what it's like for you to fly. You leave, but you always come back. You always have, and that is why I am fairly certain once the wood is removed, we will be back to ourselves. I wish I could have joined you there. I really could. I possess no flight powers such as yourself, but I always wondered what it was like to join you up in the V formations, flying somewhere new, meeting new people beyond a book or a page or the moving cameras. Did I hold you back?
Oh, no. I could have done all of those things, fly high, go far, see everything, but it's nice to have all of that, to be able to see all the great heights, but you, at the end of the day, do need things to ground you. And
Well, I am very good at grounding. I can't really fly.
yes, you are. And there is a lot that I was able to maybe learn in the end from being a little grounded to having a nice little pond, a little consistency, never hurt anyone, never held me back. You just gave me a new perspective to see.
As if my head couldn't get any larger. Oh. Eventually, I will figure out this mechanism, and you and I, we can go south together. I'll learn how to fly. I'll pick up things.
It's then you're going to hear just very repeated pecking on the door and then a frustrated little honk. I realize that the door is not going to open with simple beak power.
Well, maybe they'll come back and open the door and we don't have to worry about it. Maybe we just gotta hang on just a little bit longer. It'll be okay.
It's always okay when you're here. You always defend us so fervently. You even learned how to use the sticks in a way offensively. Brilliant. I remember when we were building our first nest and you began to thwash and stack at those terrible little cubs who came forward.
Oh, well, they thought that they could just waltz right in there and have a way with our nest, our first clutch.
Our first clutch. Seems so long ago now. Feels like it's been as long as the humans have been gone. What did we disagree about on the infection? Was it the corn that I was eating?
I think it was the oats
on it.
I think it was the
oats. Oh, they were so worth it, so delectable. I've always gotten over illnesses rather quickly. I've been a rather tough old gander, wouldn't you say?
You were, but they didn't buy the stuff that we usually get. A new brand, a new feed.
Yes.
But you were always the fearless one to try new things. Yeah, I was never one to try new things, so I didn't eat any.
And yet here you are with me, trying new things. And what do you mean were? I am still as grand and impervious and glorious as ever.
As ever, yes. My apologies. I'm thinking too far ahead.
You always did, but I suppose that comes with those who migrate. I never could see as far ahead into the future as you. It's why you kept track and told me about the seasons and whatnot. I only tracked my feeding days. You taught me about summer, autumn.
Oh, well. You always have to kind of be one step ahead. If you don't trust yourself, and your timing, you could be in a lot of more trouble than you can be, than we are now.
You didn't trust yourself, my darling. Whatever could you mean by that? You're the most intelligent creature I think who's ever set foot on this grassy earth.
And yet, I wish I could have maybe had more foresight about the feed. And then maybe we wouldn't have to worry about this door. And I'm just looking at the door again, at the knob. At the knob that's so round that I couldn't even begin to navigate the shape. And just looking at the shadow underneath the door frame, knowing that you're there.
The pecking has continued, but ultimately it's faltered to hear a few heavy breaths. This ultimately is getting to be a little too hard.
You know, I will say one of my few failures was that I always was a bit too eager to get to the feed. Would I have even listened to you had you known about the grain? Would I have questioned it? I think I would have. I've always been a bit stubborn.
I have faith you would have listened to me if I spoke up and was a little bit louder.
Your voice is a treasure. I would listen more than I should have. I really should have listened more, and I apologize for that.
And you see a beak just appearing under the door, just the faint little nibbles. I would bring your feathers in this time if I could reach you, but the wood is in the way and the outside is not reachable.
When did we feel badass recently?
Do you recall when it was the first... What's that passage of time where it's a few moon passes and then it's a new set of moon passes? A wettle, you called it?
Yeah, that's right.
A wettle. It was a wettle ago when those strange hairless ones came and they tried to take things. They tried to take bags of grain, and you, with your wings about, came forward and smacked them all like they were a bunch of stray foxes.
Well, remember, we nested that year there in amongst all the grain and feed, and they were going to disturb the eggs we just laid.
The eggs. Do you think they're okay still? I usually sit on them. Have you been sitting on them?
Yeah, I've been taking care of them. Nothing you have to worry about, except getting better.
And getting past this wood.
In time. Wellness first, and then the store second. Again, just a little more patience, a little more time.
Really, you've always been so patient. How many do you think we're going to have in our clutch this year? I am excited to take them to the waters. I remember it was 11 eggs, 11-7.
I think we are going to be very lucky this year. I think we will. I don't think we'll lose one this year. I have faith. They all seem spry and ready to see you when they're ready to hatch.
And yours will be the first glorious face they'll lay eyes upon, and I cannot wait for that. I hope they take after you this time. I must admit, it is rather dreadful to keep so many white little feathers clean and free of droppings.
Yeah, and we'll teach them to swim in the pond, and maybe this time around, since the tall, skinny ones are gone, maybe we could try that migration. as a family. All of us.
As a family. Ooh, I like that. Let me try at that wood again and see if I can get it open.
And now I pull a card. Oh, I'm passing over the door. What does it sound like?
I think it's a song that your mother taught you. It was a song that you sang at the first at the pond the first time I met you. It's the song that you sang to our first clutch of eggs. It's a little kind of, I guess, in the throat. These kind of wobbles. And while it doesn't seem like a lot, you could tell that it's filled with your with like all of your heart, the things that you learned, and you brought it so gently. I remember how it just lured all of the little ones with you as you dance across the pond. I can remember every honk, every wail. And yes, it did scare the ducklings in the pond, but I could hear it for miles and know that it's you. And you'll teach that to our our clutch when they hatch, when we head south in just a little bit, right?
I could think of nothing greater. I do hope they take after you, though, as tremendous and booming as my calls are. I always preferred yours.
Who do you wish was here?
I hate to say this, and let it be known that this will be struck from any official song that we sing. I do wish the old skinny one was here, the one with the saggy skin. Looked like he had a wattle, like one of those dreadful roosters.
And that bright hat, that bright thing upon his head. Always
Yes, that.
never seen without it, except for that one time. When he took it off
Yes,
of his head and was
great.
wearing the dark colors, the black colors.
Oh, yes.
During that gathering, remember?
Oh, how long ago was that now? It feels like it's been ages.
I think it was in the spring.
Was that our third clutch? Maybe.
Maybe.
That was the bad year, the one where none of the eggs hatched. And I remember he gave us each handfuls of sweet corn. Haven't had it since, but I think there's some in one of the grain bags if you check around the nest.
When I have a moment, I'll go look for some. We deserve a little bit of treat. And I should be able to fit it through the door, or underneath in that little slot there.
Just cue Beak once again appearing under the door and nibbling at the dirt.
My darling, you've been asking me so many things, but who do you wish was here? Do you ever think about your family? Anyone else from the wild? Who?
I don't know why these last couple days they've crossed my mind, but one time when I went south, lovely pond that grows amongst these beautiful reeds. There was unfortunately there are not as kind, tall, skinny ones out in the wild as the ones found here at home. There was this tall, skinny one, but had an old dog. His name was Rufus. He had hard time seeing in his old age. And he just grew softer from the many years I've seen him hunt us in the pond. I don't know. I wonder if that happens to all of us. We just get a little softer in the end, gentler.
Really, it's more of development. There'll never be as soft and lovely as your plumage, nor mine. Really, it softens, I dare I say, in comparison to the both of us. But it's good they catch up with us all in the end, although I do think we've raised so many clutches now. Even after we're done with clutches, will you still be there? You're perfectly welcome to find another mate if that's what you desire, but eggs are a tedious business, and I begin to wonder if maybe we should retire from it.
I think retirement sounds lovely. I don't think I could really do more after this. Not without you, but we don't have to worry about that, right? We just
Of course not.
we just have the clutch, the last one we'll have, and then we'll retire and we'll go south together.
And we'll eat bread and chicken and...
The infection makes me angrier.
Oh no.
At this point, you hear me start to hiss and tread under the floor, and my bites turn, instead of gentle grooming attempts, to aggression, almost to the point where the barn door begins to shake. And I'm just...
Go away, I'm so hungry. I can't talk about food right now, my love. Why don't you go and sit on the nest for a bit? I need a moment to clear my head and think. Yes, that is what I need. I need to think, and I need to possibly see if there's any more of that grain, sour as it was, in here.
What are you holding on from home? Well, I mean, we are home, but what are you holding on to?
Did I ever tell you that I came from a different nest? Not the nest here, the ones that we're normally raised in. I came from the inside, the big, skinny one nest.
You never told me that.
Maybe I told you and you didn't hear me, but regardless, I was raised by tall, skinny ones. That's why I understand them so well. That's why I know about their hats and their decor. But they bought me from a place so small I couldn't even remember my mother, but there were so many of us, all frightened feathers and frizzled. They took me in and they gave me peas. Soft-shelled peas. Eventually I got too big and they put me outside because apparently they could not handle having a true dominant goose indoors. That's the thing about the tall skinny ones. We're more powerful than them, but they will never let us know. Now that I think of it, I never asked, what did it look like when you were born? Were you raised by tall skinny ones?
Oh, no, I was born on a lakeside, in a nest made of reeds and branches.
Sounds
Mine,
dreadfully soft.
it was, despite all the eggshells from my brothers and sisters. But we stayed on that lake for as long as we could, until it was time to fly on. But no, I was raised by my mother and father for a time. He flew away once and never came back, but those things kind of happen. But yeah, out in the wild, out on our own, just us geese. That's why I can't really always, I've always seen you walk up, nuzzle care for those tall, skinny ones here on the farm, but sometimes I just always wondered why I couldn't understand your care for them so much. Usually they're the ones that I've met wanted to hunt us, but you've always treated them like a friend.
Well, it is one of my many merits. I always been particularly intelligent and understood lands other than ours. Why didn't you ever tell me about your parents? Did you think me too weak to understand that?
No, not at all. It's just, I guess you learn to let go of things really easily in the wild. You kind of have to. Things kind of are. Um, so sometimes just bringing up things from the past just feels just as foreign as never flying south for the winter.
I'm passing it to you.
I hear a commotion. We must stay quiet while you investigate. Yeah, it's the sound of something outside, a bang. I'll get close to the door and just say, I'll be right back. Just a moment.
Wait, will you be back soon? Are you going to check on the nest? Is the nest all right?
Yes, I'm going to check on the nest. And that sound, but best to be quiet until then. No need to draw unwanted attention.
I suppose I can linger here in my solitude, silently. I am very good at this.
Yes, you see.
I know you are. I'll be but a moment. Go outside. I'm gonna go outside. Look around for the source of the source of this commotion and noise. I think there is a hope that it is one of the tall, skinny ones. Maybe one that might be able to open the door for us, but it's not. It's windy outside, and it seems that the wind has kind of pulled back this one shutter window that is just slapping up against it, and it smacks it so hard that it kind of slowly reopens, and then it gets caught by the wind, and then the wind smacks it again. So all it is just the commotion of uh, just the commotion of just the wind. And I double check everything around to see if there is something else out there, anybody, anything, but just the wind and a window. And I'll come back to the door, and nothing at all. The eggs are safe. It was just the wind, nothing more.
Only the wind? I'd hoped that maybe the tall, skinny ones were back and maybe they'd brought us treats. But if you're right and the eggs are all right, I suppose that is quite fine with me.
And I will slump against the barn door, put all of my goosey weight against it, and the peak of little frizzled white feathers appearing.
There's like a moment where I want to reach out to touch those frizzled feathers that are just peeking out from underneath the door. But I think in the way that all animals have that internal instinct, there is something that constantly catches me in the way that is, this is to be adverse to it, to not touch it. It's not safe. And all I do is just kind of just instead just try to get as close as I can go before that buzzing inside my chest tries to make me recoil, and I just try to sit down for that and fight through it just to be as close as I can.
That's really sad. Because you know that there's something wrong, and I'm like, I'm fine. I don't care that my crop is swollen and that I'm angrier than usual and that I want to bite and kill.
But still. Is there a game we play to keep sane? How will I play it alone?
There was a game that we played when one of us would go stir crazy from sitting on the nest for too long. It would be to line up sticks and try to make images of one another. So when the other returned to take the nest shift, there would be a stictogram waiting for you. I once told you about movies and pictures and paintings. You didn't understand it, but you understood stictograms. We made our own thing. Do you make any stictograms?
I think like sitting next to me amongst all of the stuff, including that very sharp rock that's been sitting amongst it, has been a couple of sticks that I've made, but they're a little too big to slide under the door, so there's no way you can kind of see them. So I've just been collecting them and hoping that you'll get to see them once we can figure out how to get this door open. So the by myself is just the making of them over and over and over and again, and just knowing that one day you'll see them and hope that you can see them.
Who were the survivors from our flock that we met were kind?
I think they were called Marcy, Lenny. They were really old, older than us. And so very kind. They gave us a little bit of seeds and things that they were carrying with them.
The grass seeds. That was the day before the door.
Yeah. They did say goodbye. They wished they could have stayed longer. But
They had to move on.
Hmm.
Did they say why? Were they going the same way as our tall, skinny ones?
In that direction, yes, but they mentioned that they had others they were hoping to find, and while a good spot to rest, they needed to carry on. But I hope they find what they were looking for. I just wish they stayed a little bit longer. Help you get back on your feet. Maybe we could have gone together.
As do I, my sweet, as do I. I must admit, once I figure out my crop and I'm able to walk more thoroughly without jiggling like a great egg, soft-shelled egg, that's how I feel. Maybe we'll find out where these tall, skinny ones are migrating to.
Yeah, just a little bit more time, a little patience, and once you're up for it, we'll head out. We'll add it to our travel to-do list. Maybe we'll find them along the way.
Perhaps we will, and you will have to hold me back from eating any more grain, because truly, I think this grain must have gone sour. Dreadful stuff.
There are better things out there. Fresh seeds, fruits even. I don't think you've ever tried.
Fruits?
Yes, all kinds of fruits. Very sweet. Falls from trees. Can be crunchy sometimes, depending the time you find them. But you would love some of the fruits that I've tried. Much, much better than old bag of oats. So something for us to look forward to.
I would like that quite a bit. It only tastes sweeter from your beak.
Where did we always say we would end up?
I recall, my sweet, that was a bit of an argument that we had buried.
Right.
I had wanted to retire on the farm. After all, you know where you are, but you always were worried that we'd be hunted or slaughtered or fed to foxes, which I assured you that the Tuscany ones would never do such a thing. If anything, they were too slow and buffoonish to do so.
Yes, and I wanted to go south. Travel. No fledglings to worry about. Just you and me and open sky and just adventure ahead of us. See the world, before our feathers really truly become gray. Though it's hard to see your grays if you're already right, which is, a quality in you. But
We should say I'd age gracefully.
more than gracefully, beyond gracefully. I don't think anybody would know. But despite our differences of where it would end up, I think we could say that it was always going to be us together, right?
Always, without a doubt, even if I had to learn to flap these old wings of mine.
And you hear the beating of wings, although it's not nearly as strong as it once was.
Who did we watch go through the change that I am now? And why do we think that they're weaker than me? Because clearly a goose could survive this sort of infection, not them. Not the tall, skinny ones. They don't have feathers. They'd get cold.
I think, well, we have seen the tall, skinny ones. You're right. They're not quite like us, but I think it was the old mare, Fries.
Fries, yes. Her and her big stumpy hooves and her disgusting slurping sounds.
She had the oats with oats too, same as you.
Yes, the thief, and I tried to scold her off, and all she did was put her ears back and threaten to bite me with those nasty, nasty teeth.
I don't remember when she left the corral, but I remember the night she broke it down, and just in the darkness, it was really frightful.
I think I slept through that, truth be told. I always wondered where she went after that. I just remember the tall, skinny ones talking, and then she never showed up to slurp at our pond again.
I imagine she found something better. Maybe out in the woods or something like that.
Well, she couldn't fly anywhere. Surely she couldn't have found something better.
Oh, well, I guess better for her. Our better will be once we fly away from here.
Yes, it will.
We did the right thing despite the world around us. Why did it still feel wrong?
I remember you wanted to fly the moment the skinny ones left. I wagered against that, knowing that things would get worse for us if we were out there without our tall, skinny ones to protect us. Do you remember when the sky crackled like thunder, but it was bright and sunny out, and the V formations fell like so many feathers?
Yeah.
It's almost like if we tried to run, they would have brought us down with them.
So maybe it was for the best to just be a little bit more patient. But there has been birds in the sky.
Interesting.
Yeah. And the
What
birds
did they
have
look
been
like?
flying again. Not as grand and V-shaped as before, but there's still those who still reach for the sky. And it seems that it's safe enough for us to do that. And imagine 11 little fledglings all ready to fly. And we just...
You leading the way.
Mm. And we'll be just the biggest sight that everyone hasn't been able to see in such a long time. Right?
Right.
We just gotta wait a little bit longer. You hear me laughing to myself. What are you laughing about? What are you thinking about?
Was I laughing? Surely I was honking. I don't think I would have said anything. I was listening to you describe what a goslings would have looked like.
Oh,
I'm tired, aren't you?
I'm a little tired.
Well, my love, no need to honk at this door then. You should go rest.
Mm. I'll rest in a bit. What better way to fall asleep to than hearing the sounds of your voice?
You will hear me grumble in my goosey way. And there will probably be a bit more of that strange honking laughter before finally the conversation stops.
What story did your parents always tell?
I recall when I brought you back home, I'd gone a bit further out in the field than I should have. I was following the formation, trying to flap my own wings, and there you were, standing in the field like some sort of seraphim, all beauty and sharp edges, had a beak dark as night. I, of course, did my best to impress you. When I brought you home, well, they told me stories about coughs and bullets and terrible things that I had no idea of, and that you would bring them with you. I disagreed and kept you there anyways. And then you told them your own stories. Did you ever think you were going to fit in with us? Or were you just waiting to fly away?
I didn't think, I didn't think for a long time I would, but I think there was a moment where uh, your father and I had a moment to chat and talk at the pond. Um, he just told me that, you know, it's, he said it was easy to be a wild goose, which at the time upset me. I didn't really understand what he meant by it, but I think after spending enough time on on the farm and with the many clutches that we have been able to, hatch and raise, I think I understood what he was saying, that it's easy to fly and easy to travel and see all the things, and being wild is understanding the fleetingness of our time. But when you're here on a farm and with the only gooses that you really got, it's hard because you realize that the time is really short and it isn't fleeting. And you have to be there. And there's no going away from it. And you just wait.
You never were good at waiting.
I'm so impatient.
Even when it came to food, free food, mind you, not the grubs and worms that you would dig up for us.
Yeah. And he asked me if I was willing to do the hard thing. I told him I would.
Oh boy. The infection is changing me in a way that I can see. Do I tell my mate? No. Maybe it's ego. Maybe it's wanting to keep my mate safe. But I think as our conversation winds down and truly we become too tired to speak, I imagine Wing and Wing at the door. I take a look at where my crop is. A crop is the organ of a bird where they will store grain and other foods to be broken down to digest. It has begun to glow lightly, almost as if there's something bioluminescent inside, and it has swollen to about the size of, well, a goose egg. I don't say anything as much as I groom and overgroom and preen to the point where it's bare, but it pulses like a heartbeat, like something that shouldn't be in a goose, like the tall, skinny ones before they fell to the ground and never got up again.
My darling dear, what were you upset about last night? When I told you to go sit on the nest and leave me be, and then we talked for hours? Please be honest with me. I haven't seen the daylight. I'm afraid I'm going a bit stir crazy.
Oh, no, I'm not. I'm not mad. Just a little restless, feeling a little impatient today. But it's not you. It's never you. And I'm over on the other side. I think it's a little bit of pacing, the pecking and preening on my own. I think it's always it increases every time I get closer to the door. And that's kind of what I think that's what the anger is. It's not necessarily directed at you. It's the internal instinct to stay away.
To get away.
Uh,
Eli, you're killing me!
and the irritation the irritation and picking to get the strength to come back to sit at the door. And that's what it is, but it sounds like frustration towards you, instead of something that I don't think even I can really articulate, because it's just an instinct that I'm trying to ignore. No, that was so quick. Wait.
The infection saps your energy. Respond in only one sentence from now on. I think as you are restless and you're acting like trying to fight the literal instinct to preserve yourself, to preserve our nest, I think you're just going to very weakly hear me from the door go,
You acted like this with our first clutch.
and then you'll hear the sounds of breathing slowing down before I am asleep. I think when you come to the door to check on me, probably again, you're going stir crazy from sitting on that nest and not having someone to take that duty off you. I think you come to the door expecting me to be my usual boisterous honking self, and I'm just not there. But I think you can hear the sounds of me gorging on grain. And I do not answer your call. That call that we used on our goslings.
I think I will, at that point, just sit in that spot that I can only stay comfortable in and just keep honking every now and again in short intervals, just to wait for the response to come till you're ready to talk again. I remember a fight we had. Why were you right?
Well, I'm always right. Plain and simple.
I've come to learn that that is the way things are. You would always fight for your position no matter what, and you always fought it well. So how could you not be right all the time, right?
I've always been very good at understanding things, the mysteries of the tall, skinny one cave, which brain was the best. Even when I'm wrong, I'm right. Most certainly. We did something wrong to survive. Why did it feel right?
I think keeping our clutch away from the door was probably the best thing for our survival. We got to get you healthy first, right?
I must say, I did put up a terrible fight about putting it near the door. I was worried that we would be squished or that terrible mare would come through with her gnashing teeth.
But I got them safe and sound. And they'll be okay until we can get you all nice and fixed up, you know? They'll be hatching soon, because of that. We just got to just wait a little bit longer, but I'm grateful you were willing to at least listen this time around. And it'll be better for it, you know. It'll be the right thing, even, you know, even if I know that it's hard that you're having to stay away. I know you want to be so close to them and let them know that you love them. And they'll know that soon, you know.
They will know it soon, won't they?
Mm-hmm. You've been so patient about it, just waiting for it.
One of us has had to have that patience. And
Right.
you've had the love.
Exactly. What food do you miss the most that I hate?
Well, my love, you never did quite like bread. I tried to explain to you the glories of eating it, how delicious and filling it was, and how really you felt more, dare I say, buoyant after having it.
I
You
bloated
can understand
for
that.
I bloated for days. I do not and still do not understand the concept of why you like that so much. The puffiness just feels odd, no? It feels like there's like a swelling in the belly. I never could get comfortable with that.
I just take a look down at my crop that is continuing to glow and swell, and it just feels like it's taking more of my energy every day.
You know, my darling, perhaps you were right about that. Swelling isn't too good for the joints after all.
No, but I can imagine that there won't be much bread these days, which I must admit is a very maybe a very mean thing to think about, that you won't have to worry about such heinous foods ever again. But
And too many worms, I suspect. Too many worms.
worms will for certainly be in our future, but unfortunately not so much bread. But I'm sorry you're going to miss it.
I think that's the first time you've ever said sorry to me. And it's about bread.
I can't think that possibly is the only time I've ever apologized to you. I mean, you're right after all the time. That would mean that one would have to concede and apologize when they're wrong. No?
It's hard to remember, but you always were terribly kind on the nest, even when you bit me.
Well, you're worth it.
So are you. There is something from before that I never quite apologized for. I think you know what I'm speaking of, my darling. Do you forgive me?
I do. I do forgive you. In the same way I've forgiven you for this time and time again. You never seem to um, really seem to let it go, and it comes in so many forms. But nothing you've ever done has ever been one you needed to truly apologize for, but one that you would know I would always give forgiveness for. You know. Um, and you know that, you know, I love you too much to just throw things away and not give the trust that comes with just forgiveness. So please know that I do forgive you.
I'm sorry for always being right, my darling.
Someone has to be right. I'm glad that you're the one who's right, because I'm far from it.
You're getting nest restless again. You've been walking that same path for 2 hours now.
Have I? I didn't realize it was that long. Just thinking a little bit.
You're always thinking. It's what I did love about you the most.
Well, there's so much to prepare for, so much to get done. The things that we'll need to gather for things we'll need to gather. The things that the fledglings will need. Getting you ready to go. There's just so much to do.
You'll be the one leading us. That I know is a matter of trust.
Of course. Yes, and that means that I have to extra prepare. I don't mean to worry you. Don't be worried. This is a part of the process when you have to go and out into the wilds to migrate. So don't find any alarm in it. Know that it will be confidence and ease when we get to it, but worrying now only makes things better later.
The only thing I could worry about is disappointing you, my darling.
Disappoint me? You couldn't possibly.
Why do you blame yourself for all this? For me ending up behind the door?
Because you're my responsibility. You know?
As you are mine.
Mm-hmm. But you're the one who is unwell. And it's my job to make sure that you get better.
How could I be unwell? I'm just as dandy. I'm merely stuck behind a door.
Right. But still, you're behind that door is still my responsibility. my fault. I am, the person who's supposed to look after you, make sure that you're okay. And this door is just alluding us to that. And someone just has to be responsible.
My dear, we have taken on a yoke, I believe is the term. We are paired, you and I.
Yes. But it's the individual things that we bring to this pair, and you look out for me, I look out for you. And I feel like I'm failing you right now.
My dear, you could never fail me.
I think that, again, the pacing just keeps going. And it moves back into that uncomfortable settling right in front of the door, just a little, just loafing for the time being, with the neck just craned down to the floor, trying to look a little bit underneath it, to see the shadows or the brush of feathers or something like that. Who were the survivors we met that were cruel?
I think the cruelest had to be those same tall, skinny ones who came and fed us for a bit. They left.
They're the one who put you behind the door.
They thought they were keeping me safe.
Still don't maybe know why they did it, which is a lie. But
They saw this fuck ass goose and how sick it was. They're like, yeah, let's put that thing in.
put that thing behind the door. They seemed like they were gonna stay for a lot longer than they did, and then they put you behind the door, and then before the sun even rose, they were gone.
And they left you without me.
Mm-hmm. They're the reason why we're in this, why I should have stayed up long enough to keep them from putting you behind that door. I did nip them in the ankles, scared them off for a
You
little
are the
bit.
most vicious warrior.
I just don't know why they did that, or why they won't come back to fix it.
Maybe they've migrated. There's something you haven't told me, darling. How do I know that you haven't been feeding yourself?
Oh, well, you, feeding myself? Oh, I have very much been feeding myself. I've been able to go down to the pond, nab a fish or two. There's still some good grain on the farm, when I take time to look for it. But no, uh, no, I'm eating. I trust that. Remember, we have to keep our strength up, right? We have a whole migration ahead of us. It would be irresponsible for us and the fledglings if I wasn't eating.
Then something else has got you anxious, won't you tell me? Please? I'm your mate. I'm supposed to handle that for you.
I think I look at the door and I want to, that thing that keeps pressing on my chest, that warning that keeps keeps me from taking like steps closer to the door, like as much as I want to say that that's what it is. I can't bring myself to. It's just the stupid door, and not being able to figure out how to get past it. That's all. Just idle frustration. Nothing to fret over or be concerned about. Just don't be worried. Worrying is not going to be good for getting you back to being well. So I just have to remind myself that we have to be patient, that, things are going to work out. In the end, we have a future to look forward to.
That is true, I suppose. But my worry does nothing but worry you, and worry is a dreadful, dreadful whirlpool to get caught in.
Then why don't we promise to not worry? Just for a time.
I am going to look at the door, look at my quickly disheveling self, back to where I can see your shadow, and say,
I promise.
What about this door is annoying?
We haven't the thumbs to open it! Dreadful that everything is thumb-centered.
Mm-hmm. And round is such a shape to be using for whatever this metal thing is that the skinny ones always grab onto.
Round is for eggs and should not be seen anywhere else, except for the shape of your lovely eyes.
And you can't even get underneath it or even above it.
We'll find a way. Despite this damnable door. What family member are we a little glad that we don't have to see again?
Not to sound mean, but your Aunt Augustus is one I will not miss.
Augustus, that dreadful blowhard.
Remember when she was very critical of all these very thin legs. It was so hard on him to learn how to properly stand, and he did all of his best to get to that point, and then she came waltzing in and, nearly toppled him over, squished him even. She was always a mean one, for heavens could only give reason to why.
Indeed, if I had to suppose it was envy. Always so furious that she was not nearly as butonymous as you or I. Are you crying? I thought I told you not to worry. This door is just a barrier between the two of us.
No, I'm not crying. Just a little tired. Just a little tired. That's all.
Well, if you wouldn't mind taking a bit of a snooze with me, even if there's no sun in here for me, maybe that would help your bones, wouldn't that, dear?
That would be nice. I do miss sharing a nest together. Just resting my head on yours.
Well, hopefully we'll have that chance again before the eggs hatch.
Yes, because once they do, we'll never hear the end of it. 11 little honks all needing attention for months. Surely this has to be our last. Our last. We deserve a lengthy retirement.
I will just bump my body against the door as if I were putting my weight against you.
I look at the door, wishing that I could get closer. But I keep like stretching my neck a little bit further than anything else to try to be that close. But I'll just keep my neck laid on the floor, on the ground.
What was the nicest thing about this end, my dear? Do you miss the tall, skinny ones?
Not as much as you. It's been quiet though. I think that's the thing, which has been nice. It almost feels like what out there's like when you don't have to hear all of the chorus of animals in one place, the skinny gods and their rumbling machines that they climb into, and it just feels like what it's supposed to be, and that's just a little comfort. Yeah, that's the nice comfort. It's soft, it's gentle out here. It's peaceful.
Maybe you'll teach me to enjoy the peace once we go south.
You'll love the peace, you know? You'll be able to sleep nice and safe and soundly to it. Just the gentle sound of water and the wind and the nice sky.
All easier to see through your eyes, my love. How is your pictogram going along? Or have you picked up another trade? I can hear you shuffling. Have you made a lockpick perhaps to open this dreadful barn door?
I'm thinking that perhaps one of these, I'm like ripping off something, that I might be able to, I don't know, just ram into the door, maybe crack it. I've seen the tall, skinny one use uh, that that thing that splits the wood. Perhaps I can make something that also splits the wood, and I can break the door down.
As glorious as you are and strong, I don't think they make axes for geese. A shame, truly. You would look glorious wielding an axe.
Oh, we have to try something. Just staring at it isn't going to make it miraculously open again. Um, so I'm just you're gonna hear like stumbling and falling as if I like fell off a chair or something like that that's in this room or this barn. I'll figure it out. Just give me a moment. I have to think. I have to think. There has to be a way. Um, one of these things has to be a thing that would break wood. I just got to be able to get it through my beak. Trying to grab stuff, moving stuff. And it'll just be a constant shuffling around to no avail.
To no avail. I don't know if you've ever seen a rabid animal, the way that they will try and grab things, but you are going to hear me start to bite at the door, to the point where I think blood is drawn, just trying to peck and get outside.
Yeah, I'll. If you start doing that, it just becomes just a cry of just to calm down. Like, it's okay. We just have to be patient. Hang in there. It's fine. It's just me honking coos of calm.
I'm so hungry.
Okay. I'll find some fish. Find some fish. Just calm down. Just a little bit longer. You have to just be a little patient. Just wait. We used to go on trips as a family somewhere beautiful. Why did we always end up fighting?
I always had to be right, didn't I? That's why I kept us here. Even now.
Yes. I remember I was trying to teach the geese to fly because I was telling them about the migration, and you'd always get so angry about that. You always thought that we were just gonna all fly away and leave you behind.
Never thought that you knew I was worried about being left behind. I always figured you'd think I was just too used to being domesticated.
Well, that's the thing about spending so much time with you. You get to know you even when you don't know yourself. I know you always worried about not being able to follow where we go, but I wouldn't have done that. I would have waited until you were ready.
Of course you would have. You're too stubborn to do anything you wouldn't want to. Wish I had that same stubbornness to me. The infection is getting worse. Oh, I gotta wait until they answer questions, but next day time.
Your time.
I think what you hear is you expect me to put up a fight after that, right? I'm like, well, I've always been right in that regard, and well, I would never be worried, but yeah, you were right, and I'm falling asleep more easily. These talks are tiring.
You were once there for me at my lowest. What small thing did you do that made all the difference?
Oh. I think I've never seen you so low as the day that we lost a second clutch.
It just happened so quickly.
No one could have expected those horrible, tall one chicks to come through and crush the eggs.
I just wish we could have done something about it. And you were so kind afterwards when I didn't deserve it.
How could it be anything but? It wasn't your fault.
I just remember, and I don't know why it was, but it was just, you just said, we'll just try it again. And I don't know about that. That just felt right, but it was. And we did, you know? And we have.
I learned that from you, truth be told. You always were looking towards the future, and I tried to be your strong, wild gander just for you.
Yeah. That's the thing about you. You just always have that hope. And that hope makes such a difference. And I say to I say to myself, and I don't know what to do without it.
I'm just gonna knock my goosey head against the door. You just hear that little thunk, like the way we would always nuzzle before we fell asleep.
Are you all right in there?
think I nearly overindulged in oats, my darling. That's... I'll be fine. I'll just pay the wages of gluttony. Don't you worry.
No, slow down just a little bit, please. You don't have to do everything so fast. We still have time.
I don't want to miss them hatching. I don't want to miss you seeing them hatch.
I know. But again, remember, as I've been saying, just a little patience. We just have to wait a little bit longer.
Never thought I'd hear you wanting to be patient.
I've had to learn a little bit of it these days. So we just had to hold on just a little bit more.
I think there is a day you come to check on me, to give me fish from the pond, and I do not respond. I think you can only hear this labored wheezing, weak movements, but nothing. Like when I come to the door, you don't see the flash of feathers, the shadow.
I lay the fish down in the position of this like invisible line that I refuse to cross. And I just listen to the sound of the breathing. And it's slowing. And I know that we've waited as far as we probably can. And there's not much time left. Do I open the door? No. I'm not going to open the door. But I am going to sit there until the end, telling you about how this migration's going to go. How all 11 of our hatchlings are going to take flight, and we're going to be this beautiful formation in the sky, and we're going to head south to warmer weather where the snow isn't going to find us, and we don't have to crate in a barn under hay to stay warm during the winter, that it'll always be warm and there will be always fish in the lake and other geese for the hatchlings to play with. And after that, there's just a boundless sky that will be able to travel, and we'll see all the beautiful things that I remember from my time being alive. And I just want to fill the moment with the dreams that we have, or we're gonna have, or still could have. But it can't be with the store open.
It can't be. I think my last moments before I just draw that rattling final breath, I think you hear the sounds of dragging. You see that glow I've been trying so very desperately to hide from you. And just the final, just my bloodied, scratched beak at the bottom, not ravenous, not starving, but trying to preen you from what distance we're at before finally it slows. It stops.
I've been like laying on the ground with like my neck as outstretched as I can. I think there's that moment where you peek out under there, and it's just this desire to stretch as far as you can, even though there's the pull back, but just as close as one could get behind, with one beak stuck underneath the door, and one reaching out, just trying to imagine what it's like to just get one last hold in, one last like rub against you, trying to remember those, trying to remember those moments.